This is a list right here of how many times each player on this list had 100 yards rushing in a given season for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a fancy way of saying that Javonte Williams has 2 games this season with 100 yards or more rushing. Rico Dowdle, I wouldn't have guessed that there were 4 instances of this in 2024, but Rico has done a lot to kind of make us feel things lately. Rico had 4 games of such kind in 2024. But consider that in 2023, which was objectively an amazing year for the Cowboys offensively, they only had one 100-yard performance from a rushing standpoint. In 2022, Tony Pollard only did it 3 times. Once Javonte Williams does it again, he'll have matched that outing. And look, 100 yards is admittedly an arbitrary number. Even though it's clean, even though it's round, even though it sounds nice, it is an arbitrary number. And so I don't bring this up to say, oh, you got to hit 100 yards and everything's going to be great. No, this isn't some sort of archaic discussion along those lines. What I'm saying, the point behind me bringing this up is the run game exists. The run game exists to a point that they have gotten now a 100-yard performance on 2 different occasions through the first 7 games of this season. And as you can see, that has been a pretty rare commodity throughout the most recent seasons in Dallas Cowboys franchise history. Again, that sounds dramatic, but it is reality when we consider the last kind of 4 or 5 years, almost all of the Mike McCarthy era. And so what that tells us is having the offensive balance that the Cowboys do, again, forgetting the arbitrary number, arbitrary reality of 100 rushing yards, whatever. What this proves, what this tells, what this screams out to us is that the ability of the Cowboys to obviously have this high-level, extremely potent passing game is an incredible asset. But for them to also be able to run the ball, for them to be able to run the ball reliably and consistently, that is such an important part, an important element, an important harmonious aspect of what they are doing from an overall offensive standpoint in 2025. And that is another reason to continue to be excited about and be willing to trust this offense moving forward across the rest of the season.